Your Eye on Annapolis daily news brief keeps you informed about what's happening in Annapolis, Anne Arundel County, and Maryland. Local news, local sports, local events, local opinion, and, of course, local weather. Your Eye on Annapolis daily news brief starts now.
Good morning. It's Thursday, July 3rd, 2025. This is John Frenaye, and this is your Eye on Annapolis daily news brief presented by Annapolis Subaru and the SPCA of Anne Arundel County. All right, we've made a command decision not to have a DNB tomorrow or Monday, and we're going to take a little bit of R&R. So make sure you're getting our daily news recap, and we will see you on Tuesday morning. Now, I'm calling BS on this OMG fact for today. They tell me that the average American eats about 200 sandwiches a year, and I say no way, much less. And most of my sandwiches, they're either coming from Giolitti's or full on. Anyhow, news, let's get into it, shall we? St. Mary's Parish has completed an $8.5 million purchase of the Annapolis Area Christian School campus on Bestgate Road. The 9.3-acre site includes a 40,000-square-foot building with classrooms, a gym, music and art rooms, administrative offices, and a large athletic field. AACS will continue operating the school through the next academic year while preparing to move it to its Severn location. St. Mary's Parish now increases its local footprint, adding to its downtown and St. John Newman properties. Justin Mullen of Hyatt Commercial, who represented the parish, said the purchase supports the parish's long-term mission in Annapolis. The Maryland State Police have entered the 2026 Best Looking Cruiser contest, featuring a patrol car that really highlights Baltimore's landscape, and I think our cars are pretty cool looking. Except when they're behind me with their lights flashing, but that's another story. Voting does run through July 11th, with the top 13 cruisers earning calendar spots and one winning the cover. A department spokesperson said that this is a chance to show off state pride and support our troopers. Marylanders can vote now and help their entry secure national recognition. We have the link at eyeonannapolis.net, and as you're scrolling through to get to vote for Maryland, scroll real fast past Florida. Don't look at that Lamborghini or Ferrari or whatever it is they have. But you know what? I do definitely think we have 1 month at least locked up for sure. Annapolis is rolling out its No Harm Community Service Resource pop-up tour beginning today, bringing free health, employment, housing, and youth services directly to neighborhoods. The Thursday afternoon events will run through October 2nd in 14 different locations, including Robinwood, Eastport Terrace, and Clay Street. Mayor Gavin Buckley emphasized the importance of meeting residents where they are. Each stop will feature local vendors, nonprofits, giveaway, and family activities. I know summer just sort of started, but here's a date for the end of summer that you want to put on your calendar. The Annapolis Symphony Orchestra will present 2 free outdoor Pops in the Park concerts over Labor Day weekend. The first performance will be at Downs Park up in Pasadena on August 30th at 11:30 a.m., followed by a Sunday evening show at Quiet Waters Park in Annapolis on August 31st at 5:30 p.m., with rain dates being September 1st. You can expect a mix of patriotic tunes, filled scores, youth orchestra showcases, Maestro Novo playing the harmonica, and music that really welcomes all ages. Blankets, leash dogs, and food trucks are all included. Maestro Jose Luis Novo said that it is the perfect way to connect the community with and introduce symphonic music to new audiences. You want to be sure to catch our local business spotlight this Saturday at noon. This week, we do chat with Vanessa Bright from the Maryland Reentry and Resource Center. That does drop at noon on Saturday. And today on Canines and Crosstreks, yes, it's on a Thursday, not a Friday, we have The Odd Couple, Cash and Penny. You want to listen to our spot now and then check out eyeonannapolis.net at noon for some irresistible photos of this bonded pair of pups and get all of the information on how you can adopt them. And again, please don't forget that we have our daily newsletter that features only the top local news stories of the day. We do send it out to your inbox at 7 p.m. every night. That's 365 days a year, all without a paywall. And it's perfect for keeping up with the long weekend's news since we aren't going to be releasing a DNB this Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Monday. Here's a link right here in the show notes for you, and please feel free to share it with your friends and family. All right, that's it. Now it is time just to say thank you for listening and putting up with us every day. I do hope that we add some value to your world, and if we do, please leave a review somewhere or tell a friend to give us a listen. We also want to thank our sponsors, Annapolis Subaru, the SPCA of Anne Arundel County, Hospice of the Chesapeake, Fish for a Cure, and Mathematics. It's Thursday, the long weekend is upon us, and now it is time just to say have a great weekend, be nice to others, do something fun, have a magical 4th of July, and keep shopping local. Now hang tight, we have your Eye on Annapolis local weather report, and then canines and cross treks. All of that's coming your way in just a minute.
Ahoy, captains and anglers. What better way to spend a day on the Chesapeake Bay than by fishing and fundraising for a cure? Join us for the 19th annual Fish for a Cure tournament, Paul C. Detter's Captain's Challenge, and Shore Party, Saturday, November 1st at Safe Harbor, Annapolis. Fish for a Cure supports Luminous Health Anne Arundel Medical Center's Gayton and Joanne D. Cesaris Cancer Institute. Event proceeds directly support the Cancer Survivorship Program for patients recovering from all types of cancers. Gather your crew and register your boat today at fishforacure.org. Again, that's fishforacure.org. Next up, we're diving into today's Eye on Annapolis weather forecast. From sunny skies over the bay to storm warnings that could impact your plans, we've got the details to keep you ahead of the curve. Stay tuned. It's all coming your way in just a moment.
Good morning, Anne Arundel. Here's your local weather forecast for the next couple of days as we head into the long weekend. Today looks like a hot, clear day in the 90s. Plenty of sunshine with lows dipping to the low 70s overnight. It is a perfect beach or backyard day. Just remember the sunscreen and water. We're talking stay cool level heat, so pacing yourself with outdoor activities will pay off. Friday brings a breezy, sunny Independence Day with highs around 85 and lows near 70. Ideal conditions for fireworks and barbecues, just moderate humidity and clean skies. Bring on the parades and the booms. Looking ahead, the holiday weekend continues with some clouds and sun on Saturday and Sunday, both in the upper 80s, with Saturday's air quality a bit rough. Monday through the rest of the week looks to be daytime highs in the upper 80s and nighttime lows around the mid-70s with chances of rain each day. That's your weather. Stay smart, stay cool, and have a great 4th of July.
Have you ever had to wait to get an appointment at the Apple Store? Skip the wait and the line at the mall by visiting Mathematics in Severna Park, where appointments are not necessary. Mathematics is an Apple-authorized premium service provider. Mathematics services all Apple devices, including broken iPhone screens and batteries, and all without an appointment. Most iPhone repairs are complete the same day and usually within a few hours. Mathematics is also an Apple-authorized reseller and sell Apple products at the same price as the Apple Store. Visit Mathematics in Severna Park for Apple-authorized sales and service and shop local. Don't wait for help. Call Mathematics at 410-757-MAX, which is 410-757-6227. It's 410-757-6227. Or visit them online at mathematics.com. That can only mean one thing. We're headed to the SPCA of Anne Arundel County with Annapolis Subaru to play with the pups for this week's Canines and Cross Treks. Sponsored by Annapolis Subaru. Higher standards.
Well, welcome to the 4th of July episode of Canines and Cross Treks. I can't believe we are into July now.
It's official. It's
We are
July.
into July.
And if you did not get your Subaru before July 1st,
Too
We still
late.
have plenty, and it's a great deal no matter what.
No matter
Right.
what.
No matter what.
It's,
Right.
it's
But if you
a
buy it now, Governor Westmore thanks you a little bit more
Yes.
because the
Just a little
excise
more.
tax and the
Just a tad.
titling fees all
Just
went
a
up.
tad.
But-
It's all good.
but-
We'll
Well,
figure
Kelly,
it out.
last week you had Ms. Frisky in here. It was a cute little thing. And now you've got two.
two of them, and they're very bonded.
Two for one?
Whoa, oh, please tell me their names are Felix and Oscar.
Close.
So they're not Felix and Oscar?
They're not, but they are so bonded. And a lot of people don't know what bonded means.
Okay. What
So
does bonded
that means that they must be adopted together. That means they came in together. They're very attached to each other, and they will be adopted together.
So who are they?
Okay, so this is Penny and Cash.
Aw.
Who's who?
Penny is the small,
Okay,
One.
makes sense. Penny is the
Yes.
littlest denomination.
and you can kind of go by the color of her because she's a little terrier. wire-haired terrier.
Right. She's got that little penny color.
Yes,
copperish.
she's got the penny color. Exactly. And then we have Cash, who is the larger dog.
He is a full-size German Shepherd. Don't sugarcoat this. This is not a.
So now Penny protects Cash, though, right?
Penny's very attached to Cash. When they first got surrendered, I had no idea that they were coming in together because they just did not look like two dogs that should be bonded, not for any reason except for their size. And they are super attached. And it was very cute. I mean, anytime Cash would move at all, Penny was like, where's he going? What's going on with it? So they are in a run together at the shelter, and they're very happy.
That's so fun.
It is. It's fun. We have them both at 4 years old.
Okay, well, that takes a special family to adopt them, though.
It does, yes, because you're getting a very large dog and a very small dog.
Right. Typically, a very small dog, like the one we had, Miss Frisky, last week.
Yeah, they're kind of the same size. Penny's about the same size as Miss Frisky.
And this is and the shepherd wants to get out and run. And wow,
that's pretty cool. So when two dogs come in, do you guys give it like a couple days? How long until you determine like, all right, these guys are bonded, they've got to go home together?
Well, typically it's when the owner or the person that's surrendering will fill out a dog profile or something, and we try to get as much history and information as we can. And if they emphasize they are bonded, because sometimes dogs will be turned in together and they say they're not bonded at all. So that's why it's so important for us to know the history and for people to take the time to fill that out. We have a whole sheet that can, just things they like to eat, what they like to do, what they don't like. And it's super important for us to be able to give them the best fit, for a home and do what they need to keep them happy.
Do animals get bonded at the SPCA?
We have had some that get bonded, some that may be there a while. We may put them in in play groups or take them on buddy walks together, and they will get close and hang out. And it's really good because now they're saying that it's nice to bond some of the single dogs when they do come in and let them kind of hang out together because they're much happier. They're much happier when they're with others.
That makes sense.
Especially in a shelter. It's a new place. They've been home and all of a sudden they're by themselves. And then they have a buddy they can hang out with.
I got a cellmate.
That's right.
BFF.
Pretty much.
Jimmy and Catwoman are bonded.
Yeah.
Catwoman passed away.
Oh, no.
What?
Yeah.
How did she do?
Kelly?
How old was she?
She passed away. We think she was 13. That's what we think she was. Yeah. So she passed away.
How's Jimmy doing?
Jimmy was very upset for the first week, and now he's overly loving with me.
Well, thanks for just
I'm so
steamrolling
sorry.
us with that.
I'm
That's
so
great.
sad because
How's
she
Cody?
had been there. Cody's good. So I was used to her every single day on my desk. So it's been a big adjustment for me.
Well, I'm sorry to hear about Catwoman.
I know, we were so sad.
That's I'm actually kind of sad.
Yeah, we're all really upset you did. She's a little fluff ball. Yeah. So Jimmy's coming around little by little, but he was super upset because remember he used to clean her and just they were always together.
Yeah.
Big
Has
adjustment.
his attitude changed at all? Is he grumpier?
No, he's actually becoming a little bit friendlier
Oh,
because I guess he's not sharing the love.
He's going,
Everybody
oh,
agrees.
damn,
Not
I
like Subaru and shares the
got to
love.
deal with
Everybody-
these humans
yeah.
now.
Everybody
now it's
everybody
all about
grieves
them.
a little differently.
That's right.
Yeah, poor Jimmy.
Wow.
Send Jimmy our best.
I will.
We never see Jimmy anymore.
I know because we've been
'Cause he's-
hanging out here.
Yeah, well, is he still at the old digs?
Yeah, he's at the old.
Yeah.
That's right.
And we haven't been there in a long time. I don't know whether I remember how to get there.
Yeah.
Oh.
So R.I.P. Catwoman.
That's true.
Absolutely.
Subaru released their corporate impact report saying that they're more than a car company. And for the 5th year, they were one of America's most community-minded companies named by the Points of Light Foundation.
Okay.
And then I think we talked about before, but Forbes also named them number 1 in the auto industry for social impact.
Yeah.
And then they were saying that they volunteered over 16,000 volunteer hours a year. Share the Love was $31.7 million this year. And then I extrapolated that. I said, well, 641 dealers, the average is below $50,000. And you guys have been over 70 for at least 3 years that I've known. So you guys are small but mighty. And I got to think that you're not one of the largest, and I don't mean to diss you, but I don't think you're one of the largest Subaru dealers in the nation.
No, there's some.
I mean, this is a very small market, I would think.
Yeah, no, there's some big ones out there. There's some real big ones out there.
You guys swing way out of your league, man. You're good.
We do the best we can with what we got. You're
doing a hell of a job.
Thanks, man.
Unbelievable. And then I saw where our streak is back with the SPCA, and the only one that's left on the website that I saw we had a couple weeks ago. It was Rudy Jeremiah, the cocker with the great hair.
Oh, with the curls.
So from 2 weeks ago.
What's up with that?
Yeah, I don't know. He's the only one
He's
who
a
remains
little
on site, but that's only been
scaredy-cat.
2 weeks.
Okay.
So he's got some time.
Yes, he does.
So that's exciting to see that our streak is still
It's a great
still
streak.
alive
It's a
and
good
everything
streak,
else.
yeah. And we're not just taking all like the real pretty dogs.
No, they're not all white and fluffy.
We are stepping out here. We're challenging our listeners.
We are, and there have been some challenges, and they've
Absolutely.
always stepped up to the.
They sure have, like a bonded pair, a shepherd and a little small terrier. I mean, that's a challenge right there.
That's a challenge there.
They're both beautiful, but they do come together.
And I saw that I was reading an article on what Subaru's doing. Everybody's moving to these eventually. I mean, we're going to electric vehicles, but now autonomous, the self-driving ones.
Mm-hmm.
And they said Subaru is taking a different angle as opposed to concentrating on the car. They're concentrating on the road. And it was saying that Subaru's focusing on the road, and they're developing systems or testing them in snowy parts of Japan where they can put sensors in the road to actually be communicating with the vehicles. Because if you figure a snow-covered road, all the cameras on a car that sense where you're going may not know where the road is.
Yeah, that makes sense.
This is looking to put the sensors that will communicate with the car and with other people, what's around and everything else, which is kind of cool. It sort of throws back to the Hot Wheels thing where you had the car that went in the little
keep you on the track
and it rolled it around. But it was talking about communicating through 5G and fiber optic sensors in the roads, which is really pretty kind of cool. I mean, it's obviously way down the road, but it's kind of neat to talk about. And they're saying the cars is easy.
Way down the road.
Pardon that pun.
That's good.
But they say the cars is fairly easy. I mean, you can put the cameras and the sensors and they develop pretty quickly, but obviously on roads, it's a big bucks.
Yeah, cameras and the roads. Yeah, sensor. They have to see, they have to feel, they have to know what they're trying to avoid, what they're staying within, and that kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
I have not read about that or heard anything about that, but that's pretty cool. They're looking into that.
Yeah, I needed
I don't know how we're gonna sell roads.
Sell a road.
Yeah,
Subaru highway.
Right.
Where do you live? This car is gonna be perfect for you.
That's right.
I mean, it's way down the road before the governments and everything else do it. But I mean, it's kind of cool that they're looking at this future stuff like that.
Yeah, they're all about safety, man. That's the biggest thing.
I wish I had the clue as to what to avoid when I was backing up at the Eastport post office the other day, because I took out the bumper of a Toyota RAV4.
Oh, no.
Really?
In that nice, narrow little parking lot.
It's so tight in there, though.
But she was really very cool. She was so
nice
cool about
it.
it and everything else. And it was, we sort of laughed and sweated. And,
Here's my insurance information.
But it was funny. She was a little bit weird and she wanted we should get the cops. I'm like, well, I don't know that we need that. We can just sort of exchange information. I mean, nobody's being towed from here. Nobody got hurt.
Yeah.
Did you give her your real information?
And then I gave her yours.
You really should. I mean, honestly, just from experience, you really should, if you get in any sort of accident or fender bender or even something in a parking lot, you actually should notify the police.
Well, the police, they did come. I mean, I felt that she was a little bit uneasy with that.
Yeah.
It was probably her first accident. So I'm like, fine, I'll wait and we'll get an officer. And he just gave us a business card with an incident number. No, there was no report or anything on that.
Okay.
And he said, no, if there's no injuries and there's no towing, you guys just exchange the information, drive on your way and report it to your insurance company. We won't even do a report on it.
Yeah. But I mean, my recommendation would be to ask for a report, just documenting that there are no injuries.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just because you never know. There could be, oh, we're good.
And then
Here's
they
my
realized,
and the next thing you know,
they
your
realized they had
insurance
an
company's oh.
But we're kind of low on events though going on here.
No.
I mean, the SPCA.
Jeez, it was all at once. So now we're like,
what's up with
we
that,
got the puppy
Kelly?
plunge coming. Woo!
August 24th, Camp
That's right.
Flex. That'll be a lot of fun. That's down in Edgewater, and you can get the information at aacspca.org right now.
That's always a fun one for us.
It's okay to take take a little break.
Yeah.
Kelly?
Yeah.
Take a little break.
Especially
Focus
in
on
the dog
animals.
days of summer.
Yeah. Focus
Yeah.
on the animals.
That's it. Get them adopted and
maybe go on a vacation or something.
maybe,
Kelly.
yeah.
You should.
And then we start to look into, I guess, October. We haven't heard the date or anything like that, but hopefully the Jazz Fest will be rolling around again.
Oh,
Yep,
yeah.
we'll have more information on that to come.
Anything new and exciting up here in Subaru land?
Not really. I mean, we're just doing what we do. We're
Trying to
provide
get
quality vehicles to everybody that wants one.
So how is the hybrid Forester? Is that turning out? Because it's now been out a couple months
awesome.
now.
Yeah,
okay.
it's great.
Very
people
cool.
really love them. They're the power in them is great.
Nice.
The gas mileage is great. They're wonderful cars.
Well, you said a couple of weeks ago that they're very difficult to get. That they're in and out.
Well, we get them, and then somebody drives one, and they're like, "I want to buy it." So then they do.
Very nice.
So it's we're starting to get a little bit more. We got a pipeline of them. They're great. I would highly recommend if you're in the market for a hybrid or you're not quite sure if you want to go the electric route or whatever the case may be. These Forester hybrids are really nice cars.
Well, that's what a lot of the auto magazines are sitting there saying is that Subaru's really jumped up on that hybrid thing, which has been around for a while, but they've had the time to really perfect it and everything else. And for those that aren't into the 500 or 400 or 600 maybe mile limitation on an EV, or just we don't know about the EV. It's still so new. This hybrid technology is fairly old at this point.
Yeah, but it's come a long way, and Subaru's never really the first to get into anything, but typically when they enter into a segment or enter into something like this,
they got a product.
They do it right. So we've had nothing but rave reviews about the car, and we couldn't be excited more about it.
And I have a question. So on Instagram,
yes.
they keep showing this Subaru Crosstrek that's coming out. Now, is that inside scoop or is that just not true? It's very different looking, and they only show the back. And then if you go to hit on it, it doesn't take you any further.
What feed are you following, Kelly?
I don't know. Subaru. They're coming to me.
Is it Subaru of America?
I'm not sure, but it's very cool and very different back. And all they're showing is the back of it. It's like a little teaser.
So it's an ad?
It's a teaser. And I didn't know if you know the scoop that you can share with us.
I don't know what you're
Billy knows all sorts of scoop. He just won't share it with us.
Well, that's what I'm wondering.
We've been through this
but
year.
If he thinks I already know a little something, he might be willing to share.
I honestly...
I'll text it to you next time I get it.
Yeah, next time you get it, send it.
It's very cool looking.
I'm not seeing anything on their main page here.
Yeah.
Look back on April 1st.
Yeah. Yeah, for the new 2025 Baja.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, next time you get it, shoot me a message. What's your handle?
Yeah, Kelly, what's your Instagram?
I'm not saying.
You're not gonna say.
Nobody knows.
Yeah.
Mine's. I'm not to tell mine.
It's Puppylicious.
Puppy.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
You're about to.
Mine's Billy_Budweiser. Billy Budweiser.
Billy.
Nickname college.
It's just all state.
I grew up in Anheuser-Busch warehouse, That's
Hey,
what I did.
And you grow into it.
Yeah, that's what I did.
You grow into it. Well, come push the buttons at Annapolis Subaru, 149 Old Solomons Island Road or AnnapolisSubaru.com. And if you have buttons at home that want to be pushed by a little itty bitty terrier named Penny and a great big German Shepherd named Cash, both 4 years old, give the SPCA a call. Come down and meet this pair, and you can totally change their names to Felix and Oscar. Although one's a male and a female, so we've got to figure out how that works. But they are ready to go home now. It'll take a special home to get them, so I imagine it'll probably take some time to adopt them. But cool animals, just quite the mix between the big and little.
Quite a pair.
But
Love it.
AACSPCA.org. I don't believe it's the 4th of July, but it is. And I am looking forward to some fireworks tonight, and I hope you guys have a great 4th, and I guess we'll see you next week.
Happy 4th of July.
See you next week.
Coping with advanced illness can be overwhelming, and determining the best options for a loved one isn't always so easy. But here at Hospice of the Chesapeake, your hometown hospice, we want you to know you do have a choice. You can choose exactly who provides the care and the type of care you receive, and it's your decision when and where your loved one receives that care. We have served our community, family, and friends for over 40 years. We are there when you need us. Learn how we can help at hospicechesapeake.org.
You've been listening to the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. Tell your friends and colleagues, this is the podcast where you can keep up on the latest with what's going on in Annapolis and Anne Arundel County. And don't forget about our website, eyeonannapolis.net, where you can find even more information. And make sure you follow us on Facebook at All Annapolis and on Twitter at Eye on Annapolis. This Daily News Brief podcast comes to you every Monday through Friday at 6 a.m.